On the third spacewalk of that mission,
my feet were strapped to the end of the space station's robotic arm.
And it took me through a long arc across the top of the space station and back.
At the top of this arc, I was about 30 meters above the space station, looking down at the space station and the Earth
250 miles below. The sheer beauty of the scene was just absolutely breathtaking. And I remember the first thing that hit me was the realization of the tremendous human achievement that the International Space Station represents. It's arguably the most complicated, complex structure ever built. It was built in space by 15 nations. As we all know, some of these nations weren't always the best of friends, but somehow we found a way to set aside our differences and work together on this project. And I thought to myself as I hovered above the space station, if nations can join together and build an enormous, incredibly capable research facility in orbit, we can, by working together, solve the problems that we all face. Nothing is impossible.
Our next guest is a retired NASA astronaut, a decorated fighter pilot and test pilot, explorer, entrepreneur, and humanitarian. Please welcome Ron Garan.
We could look down and from our orbital perspective and realize that each and every one of us is riding through the universe on this spaceship that we call Earth, that we're all in this together, that we're all interconnected, and that we're all family. If we do have all the technology, if we have all the resources to solve all the problems, why do we still have them? The key things that I think is missing is our ability to collaborate on a global scale.
The good news is, never before in history has it been easier to incorporate the ideas and the efforts from people around the world, regardless of their political ideology, cultural biases, or geographic location. Any worthwhile endeavor requires hard work and stepping outside of the way we've always done things, to look at things from different angles, and to realize that any one of us or any one organization will not have all the pieces of the puzzle. However, it's precisely those people and organizations that truly commit to making a positive change and step outside of their comfort zones. And it's precisely at those moments when they have the courage to embrace new and innovative ideas, partnerships, and collaborate across different disciplines, industries, cultures, boundaries, and borders. Those are the ones that affect real change, disruptive change.
Any change requires some level of risk. So I want to share with you a story. I was taking off in an F-16 when I heard a loud explosion that knocked my feet off the rudder pedals and my head back into the seat. This close to the ground, my only option was to eject. I ejected about 4 seconds prior to impact and less than a second before I would have been outside of the ejection envelope. This is one of those moments that life gives you that really gets your attention. The very next day, in the spirit of getting back on the horse, I flew another F-16. What evolved when I strapped in that day was trust. I had to trust my ground crew was there supporting me to succeed. The technology was there to keep me safe, and the benefit of our greater mission was worth the risk. This new outlook brought me through many dangerous parts of my life, from flying in combat during the first Gulf War, to an instructor at the Air Force's Top Gun school, to being a test pilot, to 2 space missions and 4 spacewalks. Before I committed to enter any of these challenging situations, I first asked, can I trust my team and technology are going to be there to help me make it through, and is our bigger mission worth the risk? With all of these principles in place, we can propel real solutions that can scale to solve massive challenges and help lead us to a visionary future.